The Emmy goes to Tony Hale, Veep.
And the Emmy goes to Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Veep.
And the Emmy goes to Veep.
Oh, there we go. HBO's Veep was one of the big winners at last night's Emmy Awards, taking home Best Comedy, Best Lead Actress, Best Supporting Actor. Here now with a recap of the night in television, TV critic Bill Brioux. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks, Todd. Good to be here.
So listen, this is what you do. You're all about TV. What was the highlight for you of the Emmys? Because there were a lot of good moments last night.
There were. It was a good show. And the biggest surprise, it came in on time. I couldn't believe it.
And it moved. It moved.
I thought
yeah.
I'd be racing from the set to here.
Right.
Usually they go late.
Yeah.
But I thought Andy Samberg did a great job. I didn't have high expectations. He's not really a stand-up performer, but he was good. He came out. He did that great opening number where they goofed on the fact there's too much television.
Yeah.
And then his monologue was hit and miss, but I liked that he swung for the fences, that he took some chances. And, you know, they had some funny jokes. They said, we want to salute the guy who was in Houdini. And they went to his chair, and he wasn't there. You know, I laughed at that.
What about Game of Thrones, which just swept the evening? Finally, getting Best Drama.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, I think a lot of people maybe expected Mad Men to be the winner. It was the final season, last chance to salute it. It had won 3 or 4 in a row. But, no, big breakthrough for Game of Thrones. HBO cleaned up all night. I think they really won half the awards.
Yeah.
Veep, you know, Olive Kittredge, all of those shows did very well.
Jon Hamm for Mad Men, finally winning the award.
That was great. I was quite happy to see that.
Like the Susan Lucci.
He was the Susan Lucci, but he was funny. He was so modest about it. He literally crawled on stage.
He did.
He seemed overwhelmed by it, very emotional, and didn't even thank Matthew Weiner. So that was unusual, I thought.
What about Viola Davis and the speech she gave, not only winning the award for her program, but also the message she had for people?
Well, yeah, and her message was if you give African Americans opportunities, that they'll win, something like she did that night. And this is what's happened in television. There has never been a more diverse season in terms of broadcast TV than last year. She's a great example, her show. And 3 people won last night, big awards, African Americans. So it was a big breakthrough. Big reflection of how TV is more diverse now, I think.
I thought it was great as well. You know, you saw Kerry Washington of Scandal, who also is an outstanding actress. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was this idea. We saw Amazon win for Transparent, but some of the newer platforms, if you will, may have felt they were shut out by some of the more traditional broadcasters. What do you make of that sort of fight that goes on behind the scenes?
Well, yeah, it's a gang war now, isn't it?
It really is.
People come. So you're right. Netflix. Everybody thought they've got all these big shows, House of Cards, and they didn't win anything last night. But you know that just shows you how much television there is. And if Amazon can win, and nobody deserved it more than Jeffrey Tambor for Transparent. And the people behind the showrunner, Transparent won. She won for directing, Soloway. So that was a breakthrough. I'm sure Netflix will win in the future if they didn't win last night, but very few awards for the traditional broadcast networks. ABC won a couple. Fox, who hosted the show last night, were shut out. So TV's changing for sure.
Golden age. Bill, great to have you on the program, though.
My pleasure, Todd.
Thanks so
Anytime.
much.
Okay.